Hi guys, welcome to Logged In with Teacher Dorita. As promised, I'm back with your petty cash in the general ledger using the Imprest system. Right, so I want to start off just with the instructions. What it could look like is something like this. It will say to you, complete the petty cash account in the general ledger. The total petty cash from your petty cash journal was 986 Rand. So here, they've just given you the total of your petty cash column. So they didn't expect you to do a full petty cash journal and then use that total. They've just given it to you. Then they say the balance of the petty cash on the 1st of April was 1,500 Rand. Restore the Imprest on the 30th of April. What does that mean? When they say restore the Imprest, it means that the owner or the petty cash manager decided on a specific petty cash amount. In this case, they want the petty cash to be 1,500 Rand. It means that at the beginning of the month, it will be 1,500 Rand. But then as the month goes by, obviously the petty cash will be used, right? So you will buy pens and printing paper and refreshments, and the owner will do his dry cleaning, and the money will be used from the petty cash. And that's fine because that is how it works. But what it means then is that at the end of the month, you have to put the money back, whatever you've used, in order for the petty cash to be the same amount again, which is 1,500 Rand. With the other petty cash on general ledger, the one that we did in my previous video, let me just show you. You had a balance at the beginning of the month of 1,800 Rand. You used 1,576 Rand and 45 cents of that. And the balance now that you've got for the next month is 233 Rand 55. So in this company, they didn't choose a specific amount for petty cash. They're just using whatever they've got. And 233 Rand is not a lot. So the boss will probably say to one of his employees, please go and cash this check of 1,000 Rand and put it in the petty cash. You know, he will just top it up as they go. There's no specific amount linked with their petty cash. But in this company, the one I'm going to show you now, the boss wants the petty cash to always be at the beginning of the month and at the end of the month, it needs to be 1,500 Rand. Okay, what does it look like? Right, so we've got two parts of information that we can insert on our general ledger for petty cash. We've got the the total of the petty cash journal, and we have the balance. Right. So on April the 1st, we had a balance that was brought down, and the amount was 1,500 Rand. Okay. Also, April on the 31st, we had our total payments. Where did we get it from? We got it from our petty cash journal, and the amount was 986 Rand. Okay. Now, in order for you to put back in petty cash what you have used, we can see already that we need 986 Rand because that's what we spent, right? So we need to put back 986 Rand. And when we put it back, it's going to make our petty cash more, right? So it will show on the debit side. I'm going to explain it to you nicely, but let me just show you what it looks like. Sorry, just want to check the date. It says restore the Imprest on 30 April, so it's the last day of the month, the 30th. They want us to restore it, so they want us to put back what we've used, meaning it will be 986.00. But where did we get that? Where does it come from? Okay, I just want to quickly fix my decimals. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I just had to quickly fix the decimals. Right, so we want to make our petty cash more on the debit side with 986 Rand, but where will we get that? So guys, you must always try and put yourself in that situation, like you in the office. The boss calls you, he says to you, listen, I've decided on an Imprest system for our petty cash. It means that I want the petty cash to be 1,500 Rand at the beginning of the month and at the end of the month. Right, you say, yes, sir, I understand what it means. He then says to you, okay, so it is now the end of the month. We have used 986 Rand of our petty cash, so we need to restore the Imprest. How much do we need to restore the Imprest? Yes, you need 986 Rand. Where will you get it from, guys? He is going to probably give you a check for 986 Rand. You're going to go to the bank, cash the check, come back to the office with the check, with the cash, and put the cash in the petty cash box. You have now almost restored the Imprest. When we go to the bank with a check, where will that transaction normally show? It will show on your cash payment journal. And that is where this comes from. You're going to call it bank, and you're going to name your folio cash payment journal. I've tried to now tell you a little story and explain it properly because the CPJ on the debit side might make you feel like something's wrong. Okay, but remember, you're not now on a journal. You're basically in the bank. You're on the general ledger. So it's about where the money increases, where the money becomes more is your debit side. Where the money becomes less is your credit side. I hope that makes sense. So basically, here you putting it on the credit side because it's the money became less. You paid all of this. It's from your petty cash journal. This money, 986 Rand, made your petty cash more, so it's showing on the debit side, even if it does come from the cash payment journal. Okay, now you follow the same steps. Which side is bigger? Obviously, this side, the debit side, is bigger because you've got 1,500 plus 986. It gives us a total of 2,486 Rand. Remember to give it a thick line at the top and the bottom. You copy it on both sides. Okay. Now you have to make your credit side true. This is not true. 986 plus nothing doesn't give you 2,486. We have a missing value here. So I'm just going to show you the calculation. I know a lot of you probably already know what's happening. You're going to take your big value minus your smaller one. And it's going to give you a value. It's going to give you the missing value that you need. And it's going to be, yes, you guessed it, 1,500 Rand. And that now is true because 986 plus 1,500 does equal 2,486 Rand. What is this amount? It is your balance that also happened on the 30th that you are going to carry over. Okay, you're going to carry it over all the way to your debit side. And that is now the balance that you have brought down on the 1st of the next month, which will be May. Did you restore the Imprest? Yes, you did, because your original balance on the 1st of April was 1,500 Rand. You've done your general ledger, you've done the calculations, and at the end, your balance for the new month has to be 1,500 Rand as well. And you have done that. It means that you have now restored the Imprest. I want to show you a little trick. Okay, I've pre-typed it. It's the same amounts, okay? But I'm going to explain to you now why this is useful. You can use this as a little calculation when you have to restore the Imprest. You simply write down these words. What do you have in the box? What went out the box? What do you have left over? What do you need to put back to restore the Imprest? And then what was the Imprest? Okay. Guys, I know a lot of you will think, but teacher Dorita, this is stupid, because if I've got 1,500 Rand and I use 986 Rand, all I have to put back is 986 Rand. Yes, that is true. It is true. But what they sometimes do is they give you additional information that changes everything. It will look something like this, where, let me add a line. It will look something like this. They'll give you the information exactly like I've given it to you, but they will say, they will give you another transaction. For example, on the 5th of April, the owner cashed the check for 400 Rand for petty cash. Now, what on earth happens now? Because this 400 Rand throws out all this predictable, calculations. Predictable, I'm using that word because if you've got 1,500 and you're using 986, all you have to put back is 986. But now, if the owner topped up the petty cash somewhere during the month with 400 Rand, you don't need 986 Rand anymore. You need less than that. Isn't it true? So if we take this 400 Rand into account, this formula now is very handy. Because what you had in the box was 1,500 Rand plus the 400 Rand. Isn't it true? So this will then be 1,900 Rand. What went out the box was 986. What you have left over is 914 Rand, because it's that extra 400 Rand that's now changing everything. Which amount do you need now to restore your Imprest? Now you only need 586 Rand. Guys, if you're going to use this formula, you won't make a mistake. You just stick to this, what's in the box. And when I'm talking about in the box, let me type it on the side here. It's your 1,500 Rand plus the 400 Rand that the owner topped up during the month of April. That's why it's 1,900 Rand. What went out the box was still 986. What you have left over is now 914 Rand. And to get to the Imprest, so basically what you do here is it's 1,500 minus what you've got left over, gives you your amount that you need to restore the Imprest. I hope that makes sense. Guys, if you still don't feel like you know what's happening, just watch the video one more time and just think about it logically. If your petty cash is 1,500 in the beginning of the month and that's the Imprest, it has to be 1,500 Rand again at the beginning of the new month. Okay? Right. That is the Imprest system. Not even in a nutshell. It's just what it is. That's it. It won't get more complicated than this. I promise you, especially after I've shown you, if they throw in another transaction like that, where the owner tops up the petty cash during like the middle of the month. He decides he's giving money towards petty cash, because that will be the thing that throws you out. But if you use this formula, you won't have to stress about it. You just stick to this, and your amount that you need to restore is the one, this one, that you will show the money that you got from your cash payment journal. Well, you got it from the bank, but it's from your cash payment journal. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for watching. It will really, really mean a lot to me if you click on subscribe and like the video if it was useful to you. And good luck with your studies. I hope you're all doing well. And I will be back soon with the wages journal. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye.